Astana Economic Forum is rightly regarded as one of the most prestigious expert dialogue platforms. The 8th Forum is not exception. This year, the event traditionally was held in Independence Palace, gathering on its board around 5,000 participants from nearly 100 countries. Government leaders, executives of the major international organizations, leading experts in economy and finance, Nobel Prize winners, all gathered to discuss the current issues of the global agenda.
It's one of the most important conferences, economic conferences on the world circuit. I've read about it for many years, and it's a great privilege to finally be able to attend.
I think it's been an excellent event. There's certainly a lot of good speakers. The most interesting aspect for me is that there have been people from really all over the planet.
Infrastructure is a driver of the sustainable economic growth. More than 40 sessions in different formats focused around the flagship topics that reflects the current priorities of the Kazakhstan as well as the world economy.
And we think this forum is a really good example of Kazakhstan being externally focused, bringing the best ideas from the world together and getting the ideas to come together.
The main directions of the forum were infrastructure, integration in the world economy, business and the capital markets, green economy and innovations, inclusive development and human capital.
This economic forum is extremely valuable for the agenda of the United Nations, because the United Nations is currently working on crafting what is going to happen in the world economic and social development for the next 15 years. We are about to adopt the post-2015 development agenda, and all of this is going to feed into the discussions that are happening in the United Nations on this important developmental agenda for the whole world.
Well, I think the thing that really sort of, as we said in America, blew us away was the city itself. As we came in and we saw all the buildings going on and all the activity that's going on, we thought, wow, this looks like quite a place.
The most significant event of the forum, certainly the plenary session during which President Nursultan Nazarbayev made his speech. First of all, the president reminded the audience the purpose of the Astana Economic Forum. Astana Economic Forum started as a response to the global financial crisis, 2008, the crisis which affected 80% of the world economy. As the president stated, it has been 7 years since the world economy cannot fully recover from the global financial crisis and return its previous growth rates. Fundamental problems such as high unemployment, rising debt still exist. In this regard, Nursultan Nazarbayev called the challenges that a greater threat to the future prosperity. Firstly, this is the fragmentation of the world order. Throughout the world, we're witnessing the failure of the former check and balance system. Secondly, the nature factors, climate change and the pandemics. Third, continued growth of the food shortage. Kazakhstan's government is already implementing several specific programs that will help overcome the existing challenges on a local and a global scale. To overcome those challenges, Kazakhstan has developed the Kazakhstan 2030, Kazakhstan 2050 strategic programs. As a practical response to the global economic crisis, as we mentioned, comprehensive state program of the industrial innovative development, and the program is Nurlu Zhol, the way forward, which aims to becoming one of the leading countries of the world.
Kazakhstan has been a champion of both the current global development agenda set out in the Millennium Development Goals and now the new Sustainable Development Agenda, especially in the areas of sustainability and resilience. Our world needs countries committed to multilateralism and dialogue like Kazakhstan. At UNDP, we look forward to continuing our very strong partnerships with your country.
The quotation states the leading experts, despite of the global crisis, reflected in almost all economies of the world. Kazakhstani economy continues to function perfectly.
Kazakhstan's economy continues to perform admirably. It has shown impressive resilience, even after the impact of lower oil and gas prices. It is increasingly establishing itself as a global player. It is inserting itself in global value chains, contributing to the global and regional policy dialogue.
First of all, there are challenges, but there are plenty of upside potentials for the global economy and for Kazakhstan. This has been a country that's been an example of economic and social success and stability. Kazakhstan, like many other emerging market economies, is in a process of economic transformation and reform to boost even further its economic growth. Like many other countries, it has invested and will continue to invest into the variety of infrastructures and type of capital that are necessary in the future. It is also an economy that is strategically situated between the East and the West. The new Silk Road that will connect China and Asia with Russia, with the Middle East, and Europe as its fulcrum and center in Kazakhstan. This is at the crossroads between many key regions of the global economy.
Kazakhstan has successfully become one of the top 50 competitive countries in the world. And perhaps we should also rethink the BRICS. Maybe it should be actually BRICS, an acronym that's actually grammatically right. If you could add in Kazakhstan, it could actually become the BRICS, B-R-I-C-K-S.
There were some bright initiatives announced by head of the state at the plenary session. The first, the creation of the Eurasian Transcontinental Corridor. New high-speed multimodal transport route will run through the whole territory of our country and allow for unimpeded transit of cargo from Asia to Europe and back.
I fully support the visit of Luxembourg Trade and Financial Services Mission to Kazakhstan. New transcontinental investments into transport routes will give a powerful impetus to this cooperation. Among those, Western Europe-Western China Transport Corridor, which runs through Kazakhstan and promises to cut delivery time between Europe and China in half compared with seaborne transport.
Second, the creation of an international financial center Astana from the experience of Dubai would be established on the premises of Expo 2017 specialized exhibition. In the future, the center of Astana will be core of the financial infrastructure in Kazakhstan and subsequently the financial hub of the whole Central Asian region.
Certainly, the idea of having Astana become a financial center and moving towards diversifying the economy, which the president emphasized, in the future just be dependent on oil. You need to progress.
Third, the creation of the unified Eurasian economic area, where it is necessary to create a constantly working platform on which it will be discussed and worked out by a proposal for a future direction of the continent, increasing the level of integration between all its members. The president noted that his platform may become the Astana Economic Forum. It is important for us to adopt the common rules which will take into account the national interest of all participants, and at the same time it will be focused on removing barriers and enhancing mutually beneficial integration. Rules, first of all, should apply for trade, transportation and movement of resources. Kazakhstan has ambitious goals for sustainable growth and the transition of the country in the category of the developed country. It is needed deeper reforms that will improve the institutional environments. 5 institutional reforms put forward by the president, as well as plan of the 100 concrete steps, modern state for all, awarded high scores of the best representatives of academic economic thought. 100 Concrete Steps manifesto that will change the country. This is one of the best documents I've ever seen.
The first man on the moon, his name was Neil Armstrong, said, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." This is what he had to say about one small step. You spoke today about 100 steps. Not small steps. And they will be a giant leap for Kazakhstan.
One of the key events of the forum has become a high-level conference, economic, financial, and monetary development in a global economy. Within 2 days, international experts had opportunities to express an opinion on the situation in the world economy, to discuss the strong dollar and its impact on exchange rates in the world, and new normal quality growth, as well as the microeconomic effects on the fall in oil prices. Changes in the energy market, diversification of the economy and restoring the growth, top themes of the events.
Our country is now one of the 10 highest performing in the world, and we are classified by the World Bank as an upper middle income nation. But we don't stop there. We have a clear vision of how to achieve a long-term sustainable economic growth and become high-income country.
I think the current Kazakhstan government policy is very good. It's a very strong policy. Their commitment to reforms and the commitment to the diversification of the economy is very timely in this moment of global economic trends. Infrastructure investment, very important. Attracting of private sector investment and foreign direct investment, very important. And development of human capital, people skills. I think these three elements are really at the heart of a good, strong diversification program. We at the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development are supporting this policy very strongly.
The most discussed topic on the board of the AEF 2015 was the revival of the Silk Road as one of the global projects of our time. The economic potential of the project was the development of mutually beneficial economic and trade cooperation, as well as the vision of the revival of the Great Silk Road under the economic and geopolitical perspective comprised list of critical issues for a whole Eurasian space. Speakers discussed the strategy of China, One Zone, One Road, the major contribution of the participating countries in the development of IDEA. Moreover, the experts were able to appreciate Kazakhstan's initiative to resume the transport logistics potential of the Silk Road. According to the experts, 2020 is expected to increase the transit cargo transportation network of Kazakhstan in the east-west direction.
Our goal is to become one of 40 countries with the best logistic climate by 2020. The total amount of investment in the infrastructure assets and competences by 2020 will be around 32 billion USD and allow to achieve our strategic goals in the increasing the traffic volume across country and improve quality of logistics services.
Is Kazakhstan open to cooperate with investors in a situation when the prices for raw materials fell and the global economy is in a crisis? That is the question and answer, which leading experts and heads of major corporations in the traditional form invest in Kazakhstan were looking for.
We have a production here since 5 years. We are very happy of this investment that we did because we believe in the potential of this country. The ambition of the country is to be in the most developed country in the world by 2050. It's a very exciting ambition. And when I see the number of people from all over the world in this forum, I'm very impressed. And it's visible that Kazakhstan is an attractive place for investors.
For the last 5 years, Kazakhstan attracted more than $20 billion every year. Very important that FDI inflow in the manufacturing industries increased from 7% to 14%.
Experts say that inflow of investments in Kazakhstan is the best evidence that the country imposed great importance to this strategy and has strong intention to implement it. Kazakhstan is the most investor-friendly country in Eurasia. The investment climate in Kazakhstan is understandable. There is no language barrier, there is openness, and there is stability. At the end of Astana Economic Forum, 8 memorandums with large foreign industrial companies were signed. It should be noted that 5 out of 8 memorandums signed with the current foreign investors in Kazakhstan who have decided additionally invest in their projects.
You know you're doing things right. Infrastructure keeps having to catch up to the growth in the rest of the economy. This is where having the rule of law and commerce, good tax system and a stable currency will feed right in, and you'll be amazed at the things that crop up.
Among the key activities of event, Forum of Europe and Asian and Urban Forum can be attributed. Global conference on the theme meritocracy and ethic as the key factors for the effectiveness of the public service plays equally important role in the modernization of the civil service in Kazakhstan. In the area of public administration, Kazakhstan is a leader in the region. All international experts and organizations acknowledge this. Creation of regional hub in Astana proves leading position of Kazakhstan. Despite of this, we should not be satisfied with current position. Just recently, President has proposed 5 institutional reforms. First of the 5 reforms aimed at the development of the state apparatus. It is very important in this direction that principles of meritocracy should be fully implemented.
I'm very excited to discuss meritocracy and professional ethics in civil service, because this is a very important issue to promote, further development, economic growth in Kazakhstan as well as in Central Asia. If you don't have competent bureaucracy, it won't happen. And I'm glad to see that your leader is strongly emphasizing this idea.
The presentation of Tahir Mansouri's book, published in English, The Eurasian Project of Nursultan Nazarbayev Embodied in Life, took place during the forum. The book is dedicated to the 20th anniversary of the Eurasian Project of the President of Kazakhstan. This book fully reveals the idea of the president. It represents the complete text of the project which should have been proposed to the president in 1994. All stages of Eurasian integration are there, and the book ends with the 1st January 2015, when the Eurasian Economic Union became implemented. Besides, it's also analyzed the development of Kazakhstan. By the way, the development of Kazakhstan and economic achievement of the country was a high interest of the guests. Every year, the forum can demonstrate the success of the host country. Result of Astana Economic Forum 2015 are impressive. In 2 days, there are more than 30 agreements and memorandums concluded for further cooperation for a total sum of more than $1 billion.
Questions about infrastructure, questions about diversification of industry, questions are being tackled here, and all the answers will be useful for the development of the Kazakh economy.
This is the 3rd time I've been to the forum, and I find it very interesting, and I found Kazakhstan an interesting place. The first time I came and learned about Kazakhstan, the 2nd time I came back with proposals, the 3rd time I put in a Selya Programa.
According to the participants, Astana Economic Forum is one of the most interesting events on the world stage. That is why the best representatives of the world's scientific thought will gather again at the site in May next year. Since this event has no precedence in terms of its scope and the level in the entire Eurasian region, Astana Economic Forum is an open platform for promoting major initiatives aimed at the dialogue and the development of joint solutions.